Today is going to be the Bayonetta 3 boycott / controversy finale here on PlayerEssence. I don't see myself talking about this again unless Helena Taylor says something stupid again, or somebody else says something, Platinum Games or Nintendo, whatever the case is. But this will be the final one, and I wanted to make sure that we have something cemented down in a regular video that we can discuss the sad reality and the real thing that's happening behind the scenes with this boycott and what certain people were saying out there, especially on Twitter. Plus, we also have some other news to discuss when it comes to gaming. But before we get into any of that, what's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, and click that notification bell to get my videos first. Now, if you checked out my live stream yesterday, I talked about this because I went over some information that I researched online. Now, I'm not going to give you the names or anything like that, but I did look at some of the people that went the hardest in on the Bayonetta 3 boycott situation. And I wanted to see, because after the information had been revealed that there was some lies, that there was some omission of facts, and essentially Helena Taylor was trying to sabotage the game. The game, in terms of the boycott and everything, was not about fair pay wages for voice actors. Now, people who were wrong tried to pivot it to that and tried to say, oh, well, it's about that and that needs to be an ongoing conversation. Unfortunately, based off of my research that I've done here, that doesn't seem to be an ongoing conversation. The amount of people that are talking about voice actor pay has not gone up, especially with numerous games that are coming out. Nobody from these people that were really kind of pivoting and pushing towards one thing and saying that, oh, it's because of the pay, I'm boycotting or I'm not buying, or look how terrible this is. None of these people have actually done that with any of the games that they're most excited for. Like I said, I went, did a little bit of research, checked out what people were buying, the people that were hardest core when it comes to it, and a lot of them are just buying their games and what they want and not inquiring about voice actor pay in any type of way on Twitter to advance the conversation. So, in my opinion, and based off of what I've seen after the controversy has died down a bit, after the truth has been revealed, that conversation about, oh, well, let's not let this diminish the voice actor pay stuff has pretty much gone silent. It started and it died with Bayonetta 3. And in terms of, it started in terms of a huge controversy that we've seen recently, it started and died with Bayonetta 3 and this game. It has not been extended to games like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which people are excited for. It's not been extended to games like God of War. It's not been extended to any of the fall releases, the big games that are coming out. I don't see any one of these people that were so hardcore when it comes down to it talking about voice actor pay for different games or games that they're most excited to play. So what does that mean when it comes to the Bayonetta 3 boycott situation? Well, it was a performance. It was something that was built a low-hanging fruit. It's something to where you can get some clout, some Twitter points, some I'm trying to be what's right, I'm trying to be morally better than you. It had nothing to do with actual fair voice actor pay. Heck, there was even one person that stated that Jennifer Hale should be replaced with Helena Taylor and the game should be delayed, which has nothing to do with paying voice actors better. So the truth was even kind of apparent with some of these people even before we got the new information, even before all of that. So going forward in the future, guys, we have to be really careful, especially on social media sites like Twitter, where clouds and where performances for their audience are heavy and where misinformation is very heavy. But that's the sad reality of the Bayonetta 3 boycott, is that people didn't like the game or didn't know about the game or didn't care about the game. People didn't know about the sales of it. People didn't know about anything. They just wanted to complain. They just wanted to have something to say to feel like they're morally better than a lot of people out there in terms of, oh, this person's not getting paid enough or whatever the case is. But they ultimately don't really care too much about how much these voice actors are getting paid because the conversation isn't being brought up with all these different new releases. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I really do want voice actors to get good pay. I really do want there to be more balance. Heck, I've talked about a variety of different things that voice actors can do in order to improve their profile, in order to get more money, in order to kind of advance when it comes down to it. But the way that this went about with this one was definitely not the move, and I don't think that it's going to help anything, and especially when we have people online that are being fake about it and truly don't care, but they feel like saying something when it comes to a game that they're not really excited for or looking forward to, or is expendable at this point. And there's also another angle about it. There's these people that like to push this person versus corporate corporate people, corporate companies are just evil and they're always just looking to do evil things and they're terrible. You know, when it comes down to it, there's these conglomerates that just hate you and everything. There's also that angle as well, which I got into a discussion with somebody that was like that was telling me that that's all I care about and I'm only defending them, even though from the very beginning, I defended Jennifer Hale. I defended the other voice actors that aren't part of that corporate or that conglomerate or anything like that. So there is that angle. And those people, once again, are also just performing for a Twitter audience. They have their narrative that they're driven on. And even one person that said this said that they had friends or they were friends or they know Jennifer Hale and they know people within Platinum, but they had no problem absolutely throwing them under the bus the first second of trouble. So once again, what's that for? Check marks and stuff like that? Performance for an audience. So I want to let you guys know, I think that I'm kind of preaching to the choir a little bit, but if anybody has anything that kind of disputes that, and I'm pretty sure there's been some people that talk about it afterwards, but I don't see a lot of people going out there and inquiring about pay for games like Resident Evil 4 Remake. That's going to sell 5 times better than Bayonetta 3 or whatever the case is. I don't think people are asking how much was Leon paid or anything like that, right? People are just excited for the games and are excited for whatever the case is. They're excited for Callisto Protocol. They're excited for, you know, the next Final Fantasy game. They're just excited for the games and they're not inquiring about anything. So that's the sad reality, guys, and that's the truth. It's not to call anybody out or go to harass anybody. I'm just giving you guys how I see it. I like to look at things. I like to report on things. I like to discuss it honestly, and this is the honest truth about the Bayonetta 3 boycott. It was a game that people weren't really looking forward to a lot when it comes to these high-profile people, and they saw an opportunity to advance when it comes to drama or advance their Twitter profile or followers to try to rally against a cause in a corporation in some type of way, and they didn't care about the facts. They didn't care about the details, which is why they were so quick to throw other people and subjugate those other people to harassment online, the developers, Jennifer Hale, whatever the case is, because it was an opportunity to get that done with their audience. So that's essentially the sad reality and the truth about it, and it is what it is at this point. So this is pretty much the finale, guys. I don't see myself talking about anything when it comes to the Bayonetta 3 boycott or the controversy anymore, once again, unless something else comes up. But what do you guys think about all of this? What are your takeaways from this? What did you learn from this whole situation? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, now moving on to the next topic here, guys. We've got some big sales information for Persona 5 Royal on the Nintendo Switch, because the Famitsu sales for October 17, 2022 through October 23rd, 2022 has gotten an update, and Persona 5 Royal is doing pretty good, especially for a port of a game that is this old, 3 years old plus now at this point, and it opened up at 45,998 units on the Nintendo Switch and about 5,051 units on the PlayStation 5 for a total of 51,049 units. Now, with that 45,000 units, almost 46,000, that does not include digital sales, which is topping the eShop charts in Japan. It's up in the top 20. There's also various different digital codes and things like that, but to have this game do that well, that's definitely a good sign. That's definitely a good sign for Persona 5 Royal in Japan on the Nintendo Switch, and I do feel that it's going to have a nice long tail when it comes to sales down the line as well, because there was a bunch of games coming out this past week. Mario plus Rabbids recently came out. We also have Nier Automata that's still charting in the charts as well. Also, in addition to Bayonetta 3 that's coming out very soon. So to see that Persona 5 Royal was able to hit 46,000 units, not including digital, for an older game is definitely a good thing. And I think that's going to really continue on when it comes to the games. Now, Atlas needs to make sure that they get their games day and date. I think that's going to be the biggest thing. 46,000 units is not bad. Like, it's not like, oh my gosh, incredible, but it's definitely not bad. But if they get their games day and date, we see what happens. We saw what happened with Shin Megami Tensei 5 on the Nintendo Switch, which sold very well in its launch and is over 1 million units at this point on the Nintendo Switch alone, and those are old numbers. So I think that Persona could have even a bigger launch if they do target Nintendo hardware in addition to PlayStation and Xbox. And if you're wondering where the Xbox version of Persona 5 Royal is, it's not on here because it was Game Pass. And I would say that a lot of people have the Xbox Series S in Japan, and that's digital only, so those aren't going to be on there. Plus, it's also, once again, Game Pass, so most people probably aren't buying the game either, so the Xbox didn't chart at all. I think that maybe if there was all physical sales, or if physical was big on Xbox, we might have seen Persona 5 Royal chart on the top 30 in Xbox, maybe like a couple thousand units or so, but that's just not the case, just how the Xbox ecosystem is in Japan, with Xbox Series S and Game Pass being kind of the way that people play Xbox in Japan in general. So yeah, pretty cool there. When it comes to Persona 5 Royal, you guys have seen the full charts here. Splatoon 3 is still topping the charts, well over 3.1 million physical units, not even including digital. That game is a beast, and it's also still good to see Nier Automata, the end of your edition, still chart here with 44,000 units plus, almost 45,000 units total so far, another 5,000 units plus added to the board as well. So very good when it comes down to it. And anytime that I see this game, Dragon Quest X all-in-one package version 1-6 or whatever the heck it is from Square Enix, I get upset because they still won't release the game here in the US, despite it not being online anymore. So Square Enix, please, somebody help us here. It's been how long for Dragon Quest X and we still don't have it here in the West? And there's even an offline version and we still don't have it because they said, oh, well, online, that's the reason why. Well, I guess not, right? But anyway, what do you guys think about this when it comes to Persona 5 Royal, in addition to the Nintendo Switch sales and everything right now? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys, we've got an announcement of multiple different classic games coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. They include classics like Glover, Iron Commando, Brave Battle Saga, and more. So QUByte Interactive has announced a new lineup of QUByte classic titles, re-releases of older games for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, including the N64 and PlayStation platformer Glover, which I know a lot of you guys will be happy about that game. Now let's go over some of the lineup here. So Beat 'em Ups 2023, Beat 'em Ups Archive, Iron Commando, and Legend. Iron Commando was originally developed by French studio Arcade Zone and released for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System on February 10th, 1995 in Japan. Legend was developed by the same studio and released in April 1994 in North America. You also have Stone Protectors. Stone Protectors was originally developed by British studio Eurocom and released for Super Nintendo Entertainment System in November 1994. Now we have some platformers here, or at least one platformer, and that's Glover. Glover is a puzzle adventure game consisting of 6 worlds with 30 different levels. You control a charismatic glove that walks on 2 fingers, dribbles, and plays with a bouncing rubber ball. It was originally developed by British developer Interactive Studios and released for Nintendo 64 on November 16th, 1998 in North America. And back in the day, I used to always want to play Glover, or at least buy the game, but I could never afford it, so I'd go to Blockbuster and play the game there for a little bit and just be like, wow, this is awesome, but I was never able to buy the game. So yeah, but shout outs to Glover, I gotta play it now. So RPGs in 2023, you have Brave Battle Saga, The Legend of the Magic Warrior. Brave Battle Saga, The Legend of the Magic Warrior was originally developed by the Taiwanese studio Chanpu Technology and released for the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive in 1996. And I have no idea what this game is, but it looks cool. Legend of Wukong. Legend of Wukong was originally developed by Taiwanese studio Game Tech and released for the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive in 1996. So a lot of different games here that look pretty dope. A lot of classic games. I am definitely going to play Glover, and I'm going to play Brave Battle Saga, The Legend of the Magic Warrior. Definitely got to play those, but this is cool. All these games coming out. We do not have a release date. All of these are going to be for 2023 for the most part, so we should get some details on actual release date soon. But what do you guys think about these classics coming back in this type of way on the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One? I think that this is dope that they're bringing back these classics, and you open it up to a whole new audience to be able to play some of these games, especially these unknown ones, because I have no idea about the Brave Battle Saga and all that stuff like that. I had no idea about these, so it's gonna be pretty cool checking out those classic RPGs. But what are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the final topic here, guys. God of War Ragnarok, the launch trailer is here. We've been getting a blitz of new information on this game. The previews are going up. The game looks like it's going to be incredibly good based on the combat and what they've been showing off. And I love what Sony's doing here with God of War Ragnarok. The gameplay looks much improved over God of War 2018. Now, this still might not be what I want with the old school God of War 1, originally on the PS2, and also the PS3 with God of War 1, 2, and 3, but I think that this is going to be a game that I enjoy a lot more based on what I'm seeing here, because with Kratos And Atreus, man, this journey is going to be incredible. I've played the first game. I do like it. I just don't like it as much as the previous ones. However, I think that this new God of War game, there's something about it from like the gameplay, from the enemy variety, from what they showed off that just looks so much better and so much more refined from this. I think that the gameplay is going to be pretty much the perfect version of God of War 2018, and the areas that I had an issue with are going to be resolved with enemy variety and with combos and with the gameplay and what you do. Now, another thing that I love about this is the fact that they said, no, we're not adding a jump button. I don't care what you guys say. No, I'm joking. I would have liked to have a jump button, but hey, you know what? It's not part of the gameplay, so that's okay. It's not part of the action combo stuff, so that's okay. But overall, God of War Ragnarok is going to be a huge launch for Sony. I see this game doing incredibly well across the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5. You've got great graphics modes and options. It's going to play great and look great even on the base PS4, although your PS4 might turn into a jet engine plane or an oven, but it still plays, right? That's the thing that matters. It still plays. But either way, excited for the game, looking forward to it. This launch trailer looks awesome, and yeah, November 9th can't get here soon enough. So what are your thoughts when it comes to God of War Ragnarok, when it comes to these new classics as well, Persona 5 Famitsu sales, in addition to Bayonetta 3 and the sad reality and truth behind the boycott? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and we'll see you for the next video. Peace.